wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy.
Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. Welcome back to another episode of A Market Pulse. Today is April 17, 2024, folks. We are already halfway through April, if you can believe that, and time just continues to fly by. So make sure that you are not missing out on these juicy prices that are showing themselves and presenting themselves all across the board. But I hope everyone, as always, is having a fantastic day. Bitcoin dropped all the way down to $59,000. Oh my God. PulseChain drops Wednesday, my dudes. Guys, it's just a wonderful time to be here, boys and gals. And I hope, again, every single one of y'all are taking advantage of the opportunities as they present themselves to you. For some reason, whatever reason, not sure why, the stream quality seems to be showing some signs of weakness here right now. So we're going to try to push through this one. It may be a little shorter than usual, but that is perfectly fine, folks, because we're going to be diving in on all of the data details and more, of course, diving in to check out what's going on. So checking out what we got. Bitcoin sitting at $61,321 today. It actually dropped as low at one point in time as $59,604. And my goodness, did that freak so many people out. Also, not only did it freak people out, it got people super liquidated as per usual, right? If you actually look at the overall liquidations chart on this one, you can see that there's been 231 million people been liquidated so far in the last 24 hours. But again, so many people are now stopping playing with some of these liquidation items. So again, they've realized that now is not the time to be trying to particularly trade this market. We are in a sell situation on Bitcoin. This is on the 15-minute chart. And if you look at the actual trend right now, the trend is still going down at this point in time, boys and gals. If you actually pull this up and see, we are still on a downward trend on this one. So until we actually break above the $62,000 mark or higher at this point in time, it does look like Bitcoin still wants to go possibly a little lower. It has been trying to push this over and over and over again. And in fact, we continue to see it actually go through here and actually make this particular wave over and over and over, folks. So once again, let me actually see if I can pull this up a little bit better to draw out a little bit better chart. But this is essentially what the overall line is looking like it's doing right now. It actually wants to go up for a little bit. It can't quite hold. It goes back down. It goes back up. And then again, it kind of plays all up in this little zone. So I can actually see it probably playing here within the $61,000 range for at least the next couple hours, if not today, before it actually really starts to tick over. Now, at this point in time, if you look at this particular chart for the daily on this one, you can see Bitcoin has been fighting this daily trend on this one for quite a little while. And again, it actually has already fallen out of the ascending wedge that we were forming on this one. And it actually has met resistance. It could not break back into the wedge. And that just means the price is going to go lower. Looking at the Impulse MACD, as we usually do, this is a bearish indicator once again. So, folks, doom and gloom. Like, it is perfectly fine. If you have not noticed already in crypto, this is actually very normal in crypto, boys and gals. Normally, you see many dips that happen in a rise in the terms of crypto. So I can pull this up on the weekly real fast. And you can see there have been many times that we typically like to dip. At this point in time, Bitcoin hasn't had a 30% dip yet this cycle. Is this when it happens? Folks, we've only hit 27.95 at this point, down to 22, lower to 20, then 21, then 21. And we're currently sitting or at now a little bit lower at 19.11 for the local top to the local bottom that it's currently sitting at. So how low does it want to go? Can it go down low? Can it touch 54? Can it touch 54, folks? This is exactly what the game plan is the entire time in crypto. This is actually what you plan for. You want to be preparing for this. You want to buy when the candles are freaking red. This is when you want to take advantage of the opportunities. Now, again, I've said this in the past. I personally don't invest in Bitcoin. There are better opportunities in crypto around. Even Ethereum is going to give you a better return than Bitcoin is, and they are also following Bitcoin pretty damn closely. So as Bitcoin dumps, Ethereum also dumps, and also along with Bitcoin dumping, the rest of the altcoin market tends to actually follow as well. In fact, you can see in the last week, we are pretty damn red, folks. This is a very red chart. So again, there's blood in the streets on many different tokens out there, and I hope that you are taking advantage of this. These opportunities do not present themselves as often as one would want. And when they do present themselves, you tend to look back at these moments and say, I wish I would have, I wish I could have, I wish I had. So instead of doing that to yourself, set yourself up for a future success and plan ahead. Let's go ahead and see what the prices could possibly do in the future. And does that mean that if you buy today and you see another 15% dip, 20% dip, it is very possible, folks. So if you are going to be investing, one of the better ways to invest is to actually go through here and do simple little strategies. So you come in with the first entry on one entry here, then you come in with another entry down here, then you come in with the third entry down here. This is one of the best ways to average in or set yourself up. If you don't want to do that particular strategy, set yourself up on a daily DCA purchase. So that way you buy here and then you can come on in, buy here the next day. When you come on in, buy here the next day, come on in, buy here. And again, this is on a weekly chart, but I think y'all kind of get the premise. Find a situation that will work for you, that you can make work and you can actually follow and execute. DCA has been one of the best strategies, hands down, bar none, when it comes to crypto in particular, because you cannot necessarily plan for all of these dips. Yes, you can hope that they will arise, but at the same time, if you only do nothing but hope, you miss these mad gains when they do arise. So one of the best things to do is when the candles are red, find some way to buy into the ecosystem, whatever way makes sense for you. Keeping that in mind, we currently have Bitcoin dominance still at 55%. This is something that has been holding pretty steadily at 55 since this entire bull market so far. Again, this is going all the way back to August of 2022, and the bull market really started kicking off in November of 2022. Bitcoin dominance, it fell, and you can see ever since then, once the bull market really started and kicked off, Bitcoin has been on an absolute tear. Ideally, we would want to see this come down, at least reach the 45 range to see all the other altcoins start kind of pumping, but that's neither here nor there. That's one of those simple little strategies that you can kind of plan for. If you are planning for this as well, looking at the MACD for the Impulse MACD on the weekly, it is still trying to flip bullish once again. So this is still saying that Bitcoin dominance still wants to recapture more of the market than it currently has at this point in time. Ideally, if you are wanting to see Bitcoin dominance, you would probably plan for something along this line. So, brush. There we go. Let me throw that on a little favorite. So ideally, you'd want to see something like this, where the Bitcoin dominance would actually end up coming right on back down and flat and flipping over like this, where the blue line crosses above the or below the orange line. This is what you want to be looking for, but that's neither here nor there because as it currently stands, Bitcoin dominance is sitting at 55%. So, what does that mean, folks? It means that you better be ready because, again, I do see Bitcoin going lower. I know this may shock many people who are out there who are planning on investing. Bitcoin does typically end up dropping down at least a minimum of 30%, and we still haven't really seen a 30% dip come yet in this crypto market for Bitcoin. So, at least bringing it down into the $51,000 realm or region could be a very strong possibility. Now, I do believe after the halving, I don't believe that's a non-event, by the way. So, like the halving, whenever I'm talking about it, the halving over here is essentially a non-event, right? So you got the halving happening. I don't really think that's going to be the reason that the market's just going to go tanking or go flying forward. I can see it coming back down. I can actually see it starting to curve, getting into a bullish territory by the May to June timeframe. let the people wash out. This would actually be very healthy market structure, folks. This would actually be very good to see Bitcoin come back down, retest levels of 51,000 before it really starts kicking off into the next bull market. Now, on average, something y'all should know is on average during this Bitcoin bull run, it is very likely or very common that when you look at some of these items, apologize for the internet again, whatever reason, it just wants to go a little bit slow today. So for whatever reason, during this halving as it stands, we can actually see it tends to be about 100 days after, whoops, it tends to be 100 days after the Bitcoin halving to really start taking profit. Now, again, you can look back at all the other times that Bitcoin has actually had the halving event happen, and usually we go sideways for a period of at least 133 days, which means we're probably going to be doing something similar. If you actually look at that particular halving, that one didn't really do me justice there. Let me see if I can pull back a little bit older chart. Here we go. So you go back into an older chart looking into the previous halving right before. Again, I don't really consider a 2x pump to be within the realm of a like massive rally, but neither here nor there. Where you can start seeing the pump really start to happen after the dip was roughly around 154 days, 130 days. We have moved a little faster this cycle, folks. We have, in fact, moved a little faster, which means that it could lead us or lead me to believe that we will just go from essentially when we actually hit the all-time previous high to the actual cycle of this 140 days, which is roughly around July timeframe. Okay, so this is where I'm starting to see things really start getting bullish, roughly about 90 days after the halving to really start taking off. But again, it would be very good, healthy market structure to actually see Bitcoin come on down and play within this range and realm of the 51,000. Again, whoops, I did a little bit too low there, but 51,000 right here. That would be very good, healthy market structure. Okay. So keeping that in mind, what we got going on PulseChain? PulseChain currently sitting at 40759, PulseX 40293. The incentive token, beautiful buying opportunity once again for all of these tokens, but $3.45 or 345. Love it whenever it comes out in these little numbers where they come one after another and they come in the exact order. So 345 is where it's currently at. Also like 321, also like 123. Any of those, they're always fun to say. You got Hex over on PulseChain 20785. You got Hex over on Ethereum 2016. The ratio is still 1-5. So again, we've been keeping an eye on this. I've said this in the past. When Hex hits $1 over on PulseChain, that would mean if it stays at the 1-5 ratio, you are now at 20 cents over on Ethereum Hex. Now, what does that mean if you hold at least 1,000,000 Hex over on Ethereum, which by the way, currently only costs $1,600 to get? That would mean you actually are sitting on $200,000, folks. $200,000. It is a beautiful number. It is fun to think about, and the many millions that you can actually add and include on top of it while prices are in a bloodbath right now. This is a better opportunity for you to go through and take advantage of. We talked about where the possibility would be to actually look at this, and it would possibly be around the end of May before we really start kicking off in the ecosystem. We were going on a nice bullish direction. We got the kill tweet from RH, and many people have talked about this. But this is one of those things that when you looked at where we were going previously, it was on a nice bullish structure. As a matter of fact, if you just go all the way back from here, you can see we were on a nice bullish structure as well. It was on a beautiful trend where we were making higher highs. This one was still higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And then we already know what happened from here, right? So at this point in time, you could either cry about it or you could just take advantage of it and buy the dip. Now, again, that is something that I personally do. I personally go buy all of my assets over on the PulseChain ecosystem. I do have a Pulse Challenge that I've actually been a part of, and the Pulse Challenge is just simply stating, why did I draw this out? To see what would happen? Oh, to see if it just actually did it. Sorry, I got completely distracted. The Pulse Challenge, to those of y'all who may or may not know or may not be familiar with it, is essentially saying that I'm purchasing every single one of these tokens for the next few months until September. I've been on a year-long journey buying $5 a day into each of these tokens: PulseChain, PulseX, Hex on PulseChain, and Hex on Ethereum. And so far, I've stacked a good amount of tokens doing this strategy, which is a simple $5 per day strategy. And anybody can actually implement this exact strategy. I'm not doing anything crazy or anything that some people have just no clue how to do. This is something that anyone at any point in time can actually go in and implement themselves. So if you are wanting to join the Pulse Challenge, put down in the comments, put down in the chat, Pulse Challenge or hashtag Pulse Challenge. Let me know that you're along the journey with me as well, boys and gals. And again, we currently have the hex price or the Pulse Hex price currently sitting at 402942. I've talked about this already in the past, but if it does want to go lower, I am not a fan of the volume at this point in time, but let me just turn that off. If you do anticipate it to go a little bit lower, I would see the first level of support would be right at the 402844, then going down to the 402457. Okay, thank you. This is where you actually see we have this similar strategy, folks, where you can actually come in here, do the same strategy where you buy your first entry level here, you come in, you buy your second entry level here, and you come in and you buy your third entry level here. Now you can continue to do this on a either metric of price, or you can do it based on a strategy of time, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever makes the most sense for you. This is where I'm currently seeing the prices going. Now, at this point in time, PulseChain is sitting in a similar situation, 407601. We've actually fallen below the 382 line, or we're currently, should I say, retesting that 382 line. So if it does want to hold that level of support, that would 100% be the level that I would think it wants to go and hold. Then it's going to go down a little bit lower to the 40669 range and region for the next level of support before it actually should, if it does, fall lower. Now, even if it does, it would still be on a nice little bullish trend that we've been on. And it's just a matter of seeing how it's all going to play out in the end, is it not? So let me say hello to the chat real quick. Say hello to some beautiful people. This, again, will be a pretty short stream, boys and gals. It will be fun. So Jason Smith in the house. Let's get it. What's up? What's good, Chastown? How are you doing? VRD Hex, Wednesday already. Sure is. Hump day. 10 top. Tax day is gone. So selling is done, dummies. Yeah, facts. Facts on facts on facts. Yeah, even if you did a little wash roll, it's already time to start buying back in, but prices are not looking good across any of the market right now, to be fair. So that's just one of those things. A million hex is $8,000. You'd be stupid not to DCA if you can. Yeah, a million hex on the PulseChain system is $8,000. ATX, we need some words of encouragement. What's up, Logi33? We need some words of encouragement from the piece before it's just you and me trading RH coins amongst ourselves. Jim, I'm fine with that. And I think there's plenty of people who will be here with us as well. The diamond handers. T-shirt payout, 7 hex per day. Yeah, it's basically a normal 7 hex per day, which is awesome. Again, as long as you stake your hex, you're doing plenty of them. Yeah, how many people got liquidated? All of them. Facts on facts. What is the name of your trend indicators? Cheers. I got a couple of them. So primary one that I use is going to be the Impulse MACD. That's going to be primary one. Then I use Algo Alpha for the, I'm sorry, not Algo Alpha. I use the Kyle Algo. And let me just kind of show you here. I'll just pull it up since I'm talking about it real quick. Whoops, I wasn't drawing. Here we go. So Kyle Algo right there, Kyle Algo V1. Beautiful little trend line indicator. Pulls buys, pulls sells, shows good indicators on that as well. And again, Impulse MACD for this one down here. And then you got the MACD fake filter. So it kind of gives you a better idea of what's going on with these two items to see what the market wants to do overall. The Impulse MACD kind of gives you a good trajectory. The MACD is currently more current. So both of them work pretty damn good together. Or all of them. Jesus, that is red. Facts. That is what opportunity looks like, folks. Redburn222, hit the like. Much love, my friend. I'm waiting to see if PulseDex dips below. Damn, that would be a low price, my guy. I hope everyone's ready to take advantage of that. That would shake out so many people. Many people, as a matter of fact. Tam, what's up, fam? 10 top, love you guys. Appreciate that. What's good, bro? How you doing, Wales? Much love, my guy. ATX in the house. Damn, caught you live again. I onboarded a lady yesterday and gave you a new sub. Much love. Lord of the Ponzi made it to live. ATX Pulse Nation, let's go. Well, folks, the wife made dinner. It is ready for me. Let me hit you with the Wednesday, my dude, and I'll be hopping off today's stream. So
Wednesday, my dudes.
I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause